All right, so we got my man Clark here, man, joining us on ontourrmedia. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the experience of the prime effect. St. Louis, all the way out here, man. To watch the bus play. What you got to think about the game? All right, you rocking with ontourrmedia here, man. We're here at Folsom Field, homecoming weekend, and I'm kicking it with.
To start off, great win. I think we needed it. The way we achieved it, where we attained it, it was great. Let's make point of the second half. I think the defense played phenomenally well. Second half, all the kids were in shape. We didn't look like we were exhausted, tired. Thank God for our conditioning. Penalties, did a great job on that as well as the team as a whole. Specialists performed well, as expected. And overall, thank God for the W. Freshman impact. Started 2 true freshmen on offense in season opener. First time in school history, Draylon and Jordan. Also, Micah Hood, specialist, was Hood, another redshirt freshman, Tajay McCoy. TV ratings, 4.8 million viewers, peaked at 5.6 million. That lets you know that our fan base is real. Our fan base is real, and whether you like it or not, you want to see it. And I'm thankful for, I feel as though we have one of the best, if not the best fan base in the country. Highest increase, over 49%, last 7 seasons. Big 12, Shedeur, in company with Patrick Mahomes, the last 20 years, 400 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, back-to-back seasons. Jimmy Horn was phenomenal. 198 yards. I'm upset that I didn't know, because we'd have got him 200. But if he'd have caught the ball on that one, he probably would have had 260. I love my Jimmy, man. Everything about him. God, I love it. Travis Hunter is Travis. 131 snaps. Showed no signs of tiring. He is who he is. He is the definition of him. 31 NFL scouts. Represented 19 teams on Thursday. Most scouts in attendance at CU history. And our man, Xavier Weaver, made the 53-man roster, and that's not an easy task, especially with the condition that he suffered at the conclusion of the season, man. So I'm proud of him. Let's go.
Hey, Coach. Brian Howell will do the camera.
Okay, I don't mind, Brian. Can we start off from now on with one of the ladies? Just being gentleman-like. You could go then, but from now on, we're going to start off with one of the ladies. Let's go.
We'll start now.
There you go.
Nikki Edwards, Sports for how you doing, Coach?
How you doing?
Nebraska week.
Yes.
Rivalry.
Yeah.
Last year, there's a lot of hype. You said
it's always a lot of hype.
Yeah. You're going to Lincoln this year. How personal is this matchup?
Well,
what do we expect?
First of all, I have a ton of respect for Matt Rule. He's in, I call it our class of coaches. We all, took on a tremendous task that year, along with Coach Dillingham and several others. So I feel like we're a fraternity. So I root for that class of head coaches that came in that year. He was a professional, did a phenomenal job, maybe not the job that he aspired to do, but he has a ton of experience, and I love what he's accomplished in his college coaching career. So I look for them to be physically tough and posing, and try to run the football. They have a freshman quarterback that had a pretty good day last week, but we got to do what we do. We got to go in there and do what we're capable of doing. And I think we showed the glimpses of that in the second half of our first game against a formidable opponent.
Hey, Coach. So a lot of times coaches will say that the most improvements made from that first game to second game. Curious if you believe that first off?
I don't know who said that.
Okay. A lot of coaches say that, but
who? It is written? It is written.
Yes. It's written.
I don't know where that said. I don't know where.
Anyway, my question would be, as you watched the film of this last week, what are some of the biggest things that this team needs to improve upon from last week?
Well, I think we improved upon in the second half. I think we corrected a lot of things in the second half. We were able to contain the run a lot better, play solid gap control. Chidozie did a phenomenal job up front. Linebackers got to the point of contact and they made the plays. And I think the secondary is pretty darn good. We just got to not give up short passes. That we just got to be a lot more physical, a lot more on point, and understand down and distance.
Hey, Coach, I noticed you brought the whole team to the Stampede on Friday night and then had
Yeah.
the whole team on the sideline, or I guess on Wednesday, and then the whole team on the sideline on
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. What was the thought process behind that?
I wanted to bless them. The whole team has been doing a phenomenal job of preparing one another. All for one, one for all. I love them. The walk-ons, the guys that the OBs, the original buffs, everyone, man, they've done a wonderful job. So I just wanted to reward them. I don't know if we're going to continue that because that sideline is really small and it gets crowded, and we try to go over everything, the significance of you guys over here, you guys over there, and we go back and we see guys everywhere. So it's kind of tough because you don't want to get upset at just people standing around. You really want them to use them in some capacity, but it's tough when you have a short sideline like that. But I wanted to bless them. They deserved it.
Hi, Coach.
There she go.
Taylor Sadesky, when it comes to getting to see that physical toughness, but when it comes to that mental toughness, like what are we not seeing in practice and in those games too?
Well, we always start off with a morning message that kind of directs their path to where they should go. It could come from another team or what transpired. And it's a lot of situations that Coach Pollock places up on the big screen to let us know what happens if we block a punt and it goes past the line of scrimmage. We want to prepare our guys in all aspects of the game. But the mental part of it, we may stop practice right in the middle and put them on the line and condition them and try to fatigue them a little bit to see how they respond then right after they're fatiguing. So it's a lot of things that could occur in a game. Sudden changes. Now you just throw the offense or the defense out there. We prepare our butts off for anything that could possibly happen in the midst of a game.
Troy, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
How you doing, sir?
Good. Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. I've got two for you. First, Dylan Raiola making his second start attack.
You attack weaknesses. I don't know if you attack inexperience. If that's a weakness, so be it. But the kid made some darn good throws, some pretty good plays. They did some consistent things that we knew they would do within their offense. Phenomenal game. I mean, it started out, back and forth a little bit, but they went ahead and did what they needed to do. But I love what he showed in his first college game ever. I love what he showed.
And then my second one, are you doing anything special in practice this week to prepare for the atmosphere of the crowd?
Yeah, we started that today. Most definitely. Great question.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, John Treach, KUSA.
How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Beyond your game plan, how much do you appreciate how much this means to the fan bases, not just now, but for generations, this rivalry?
I can't speak for generations, my man. I'm just happy and thankful that we are here right now, and we're going to dominate the day as best as we can. But it's been things passed along and passed down from older generations to now that the governor got up in the meeting today, and he took the floor and he allowed us to know some things about this rivalry and some things that should impact us just passionately about this rivalry. I'm pretty sure you're not going to see anybody on the team wearing red anywhere this week because he politely allowed us to know that's a no-no. So I love it. I think that's what college football is all about, whether we're in the same conferences or not, but this is a tremendous rivalry, and I look forward to it.
Jason, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Jason Jones, Sports Illustrated. Just picked up on something that I'd love to give you a chance to comment on.
Give me a chance to comment on. Here comes the big one.
Yeah, no, you'll like this.
Okay.
Going from last year to this year,
Yes,
it
sir.
seems like starting with the offensive line,
Yes, sir.
and now recently seeing Shedeur and Travis kind of go at it.
Go at it. Which way?
Shedeur was giving Travis some guff about how he ran a route.
Well, that's how they interact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something to be said about your players self-governing themselves more so this year instead of waiting for coaches to do it?
Well, these young men, they got love for one another. That's number one. Number two is they've bonded tremendously. They're depending upon one another. And the majority of these guys, even the two that you mentioned, they have plans to go pro. So they really want to take it up a notch, and they're going to really hold each other accountable. It's a lot more goes on than that in the huddle and on the sideline. So it's phenomenal, but they're at each other all the time, those two. And they have this silent chemistry. And it started way back in Jackson that you could, the last game that we played on the last drive, it barely was any play call. It was just signals between those two, and they put on the show.
Hi, Coach. Ryan Scholes from Ralph Report. So, I mean, the offensive line played pretty well. On Thursday, only allowed 1 sack, and I'm sure you've gotten a chance to go back, watch the tape.
Right.
What are you seeing from that group, and should we expect that same level of play?
Well, that has a lot to do with the quarterback and getting the ball out of there and understand what's coming, what the defense presents, and checking us and putting us in the right situation. It has a lot to do with that as well. Oftentimes it may look like the line, but sometimes it's not the line. It's something that we did wrong. Those guys have a tremendous relationship with one another as well. They hold each other tremendously accountable. I feel like they have one of the best offensive line coaches in the country, in Phil. And these guys really want to play the game. They love to play the game of football, as well as the defensive line guys. I mean, you're talking like about similarities, the way they approach the game, the way they've been fighting each other for a darn month and a half now, you know, trying to get ready for this journey that we're about to embark on. But I love what I'm seeing, man. You know, I just wish we could turn it up, be a lot more physical on the run, demand that. We dominate our assignment on that particular play so that we can consistently run, because we have several backs that can flat out do it, and I can't wait to you guys get to see the best of them. But we got to take what the opposing defenses give us, and they were vulnerable regarding the pass a week ago, so we had to do what we had to do.
Scott Proctor at Colorado. Coach, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Kind of piggybacking off that, you mentioned Thursday after the game that you wanted to see Michael Welchner at the end of the game, and yes, you scored that late touchdown.
Yeah.
How likely are we to see Micah this weekend, and how similar or different do you think the running back touches are going to be to each other?
The game kind of dictates that, and situations dictate that. We know which backs are good at this, or good at that, or not good at this. The main thing about the youngsters, pass protection. You got to make sure, because Shedeur's doing a lot of checking off up there, and you got to make sure they're ready to protect. And we know Micah can run his butt off. He is physical, he's abrasive, he's abusive, he is unbelievable with the ball in his hands. And we hope that we could get that, but we have several backs that can do that, man. And we're hoping that we could run the ball a lot more successfully.
Coach, I was just curious if there is an update on Cam Craig and how he's doing.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well. I think he may be cleared tomorrow. We're praying so, because he's one of the bona fide leaders of the defense, leaders on the team, and his passion is second to none. He's second to none, the way he plays the game. And when he goes down, there's definitely a deficit in our secondary as well as on our defense. He's the communicator. He and Shiloh, but he's even more of a communicator than Shiloh is at some point.
And if I could ask a follow-up on that.
Yes, sir.
Savion Riley came in, I thought, played pretty well.
Yeah.
What did you think of how Savion stepped in that
Well,
part?
we all got work to do. I certainly have work to do. Savion has work to do, but he came in and he did something that he didn't prepare for. He didn't prepare to be the down safety. He's really the free, you know, with Shiloh. But we felt better about going on with Savion in there, and he stood up to the test. So we're proud of him. So now he prepares for both, because you never know. But thank God we got that kind of depth that we. I'm not going to say we didn't miss a beat, because Cam is phenomenal, but Savion did a great job.
Hey, Coach, Jack Harlow.
Jack, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Martin, go back to, you mentioned the true freshman getting playing time early.
Yes, sir.
We saw Draylon get a couple touches early. Just how much of a priority is that for your staff to get some of those freshmen in?
I don't think it's a priority. I think it's how the game is laid out. Like, we kind of play the game before we play the game. So when you're game planning plays and you go to an empty package, because Draylon is just like a running back as well. You got to understand. So the opposing team may not change personnel, because he's just like a running back, and that gives you an advantage if you're in man and they motion him out and he's a receiver on a linebacker. That's going to be a problem. So the guys got to earn it, man. We don't just throw you out there just because you're a freshman. If you earn it, you're going to get opportunities to play.
Go ahead, Pat. You want one?
How you doing, sir?
Good. Background Associated Press. Two-part, I don't like it parts, but the first one first. When you're designing the offense,
Mhm.
how much input does Shedeur have in the play calling? How much does he, how much do you look at?
Well, I think the best coordinators, they have a tremendous relationships with their quarterbacks, and they kind of get together week of and what you like, what you don't like. Let's take that out. Why do you like this? Why not this? And you kind of come up with it collectively. It's not just a Shedeur thing. It's not just a Pat thing. It's not just a my thing. You know, I may say, I like this. I see a hole in this play right here when they go cover 4 in this, and we're on this hash. Let's, you know, it's certain things you may do, but if it don't work at practice, it's certainly we don't feel like it's going to work in the game. But he has a tremendous luxury to change plays at the line of scrimmage and what he sees. But you got to take into account that this kid has started every game in his high school career. This kid has started every game in his college career but one. He's seen a lot of football. So it's not too many complex defenses that you can throw at him that he hadn't seen. He's seen all of them. And now you add in Pat in his ear until 15 seconds on the clock. That's phenomenal. So now you call a play, watch the weak side blitz, you know, Shedeur, they're probably coming off the edge, and you're good. Then you're quiet and you just let him do what he does. That's the luxury of having sort of a veteran quarterback that has seen the game a lot.
Maybe the second part of that would be not really part of that, but you were teasing all year about the new uniform. I guess you saw them. What you think?
What I think? We wore them. That's what I think. We wouldn't have worn them if I didn't love them. I love them.
Did you design them? Was it?
I love them. I'm going to give Smitty all that credit. Smitty did a phenomenal job. Yeah. You guys look really good. They look really good.
A couple more, go ahead.
Coach Shedeur with cubuffs Sports. After the game, what was it like with your coaching staff? You mentioned a lot about them and how much they help you out.
Yeah.
We understand the relationship with the coaches.
Yes.
What did they take away from that game?
They're excited. You got to understand, quite a few of them, this was their first time in the college game. So they had never been on the sidelines coaching in a college game. They've been in the NFL. So it was phenomenal for them. But you know, after the game, everybody just dispersed and go to separate ways because you got kids, you got family, you got everybody in town that you're trying to entertain, and you're just trying to put an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. But overall, everybody had a great time. It was challenging, you know. You got to believe what you see. And sometimes you want so much for these kids, and they may not do what you want them to do, but you got to believe what you see and go with it. Go with what you saw, so it won't damage us in the long run. But overall, we're excited about especially what they did in the second half.
Matt, last one.
Hey, Coach, you spend all winter, all spring, all summer building the team. You're big on visualization, knowing what's coming. How much for you is taken out of evaluating game tape versus what you saw in practice? And did anything surprise you here?
Oh, great questions. Great questions. Normally, what you see in practice is what you're going to see in the game. It's very rarely do a kid practice like garbage and get opportunity to play like garbage in the game. Or it's up to us. We can't put them in that situation. We have to put these kids in a situation to succeed. That's what constitutes a really good coach. And we're trying our best. We got a lot of talent, we feel. We have guys that are very versatile. We just got to make sure they're in their capacity that they could be successful. And we can't put them out there in any other capacity.
The other one was, that also applies to the coaching staff,
Right.
too, right? I mean,
Right.
You made a lot of changes. How did you feel they handled the responsibilities
Awesome.
and then came back to the table after evaluating the game?
Awesomely. I mean, it wasn't just that game. It's the preparation and through the course of the spring as well as fall camp. You kind of look and you know what you got. It's not a surprise. There's going to be during the season. It's not a surprise. You kind of knew this Jack in the Box was in there. It's going to pop up, okay, with the right amount of pressure. And when things starting to turn, it's going to pop up. So I love this staff, man. I love their not just experience of football, but their experience in life with men and young men. I love the way they handle certain situations. I really do. That's why I love pros, man. And those guys are professional. They're handling these young men like they're professionals. And we tell these guys every day, 31 scouts there, We had, I think, several scouts at practice today, and that's an everyday thing. How could you not want this? How can you not want to be a part of this? How can you not want to perform for this? If you say you want to go to the NFL and you got guys out here every day that can make that happen, what else do you want in life? So that's where we are. And I'm proud of the coaching staff as well as the young men and the support staff.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you all. God bless.
Thank you, Coach.
All of you. God bless. All of you. I do mean all. Even the one.